Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest edition of Tales from Outer Space, where I take stories from across the internet and read them for your entertainment. This particular story is called Ploink, to get a human test sample, written by SlowAD2584. The station was in security panic. There were rather alarming sirens going off in the common habitation areas, signifying some very scary things. Pressure leak, structural damage, and most alarmingly, disabled repair and security robots. What in the literal umpufity is going on? The station relations officer demanded of a passing security logistics flittertrone. That screeched to a halt in its frenetic pace to answer the call of the officer's rather high authority. Oh, apologies, High Relator. We did not wish to disturb you and your registered vacation, but there is trouble in the starport embarkation facility. We are desperately searching for someone who speaks, Earthling. There doesn't seem to be a translator codex in file. Oh, human trouble, you say? Oh no, there wouldn't really be a translator codex, The humans really cannot stomach our names and terms adequately enough to ever get a reliable AI translation matrix established. But yes, I speak a bit of human English. Can I hear a sample of the speech to see if we are a good enough match? Certainly. The recording was distorted by a loud hiss of substantial pressure leak, and the screeching sound of a robotic arm being ripped off and slammed violently into something. Again and again. The gruff voice of a metahuman growled, I said let me out! And the next one of your robots that comes at me with another probe, I'm gonna get seriously angry. Oh my, well yes, that certainly is good enough. I can talk with him. Let's hurry. The drone rushed along behind the officer's shoulder, apparently not willing to get there first. Any idea what ticked him off so much? He was a mere custom sample extraction. He apparently got upset how we sampled small scoops from his property, his luggage, clothes, his smartphone, and he got very upset when we tried to get a sample from him. Oh, those poor customs agents, higgity schlumpers. Humans aren't built like us. Their technology isn't like ours, They probably ruined all of his clothes and property. I do not foresee a resolution to this. We do require a sample for biosafety concerns, but it seems the human has gotten too violent, too destructive. When the security triple-tick droids handcuffed him with the dense polyphenzyl zip ties, he just broke them, then broke the security droids in a most, manner that has left everyone terrified. How can this possibly be de-escalated? Yeah, humans are incredibly powerful, a testament to their high G iron-rich terrestrial world. You know, they even have iron in their blood, literally. But I have a plan. I think I know humans well enough to calm him down, his relations, and even get a sample. The officer smiled reassuringly over his shoulder at the drone. But how? I'm just going to formally introduce us all and start identifying things in the room. That should do it, honestly. As they got to the customs section of the starbase, the naval barricades and battle tanks were already staged, all pointing their UV cagobs at the front door. There was smoke rising from the back of the bivouacling. The human was certainly busy in there. Oh, don't bother with those guns. They won't hurt the human. Have I told you about their homeworld's freaking star? Yeah. Those cannons will only give the human a suntan. Let's go inside. Oh, Sub-Commander, please come in with us. The nervous military officer peeked out from his woolite barricade. Me, sir? Yes, you'll do nicely, I believe. As they turned inside, the High Relations officer pointed to various items. Grab that, and that over there, and, yes, that should be perfect. The drone and Sub-Commander looked at each other in confusion, tentacles full of random objects. What was High Relations up to? As the group wriggled their way into the sample room, they covered their tube glands from the acrid smoke and the several mangled and burning security, and even a heavy construction robot battery cores. The human was breathing heavily, covered in what he understood to be sweat, stuffing a rag into the gap of leaking air in the airlock cling, looking wildly at the newcomers as they wriggled in, and set down some strange objects. Hey, what is this? I told you if any more of you stupid things get close to me with that ice cream scooper thing, and I'll, The High Relator officer rose to its formal height and cleared its throat. A pinky tingle bubbica. I said stay prepared. A what? A pinky tingle bubbica. That's what the device is called. The human dropped his guard and seemed to calm down noticeably at hearing the English words. Then allow me to introduce us. I am the Station High Relations Officer, but my formal name is... He took a deep breath. Hickety Bling Ding Dong the Third. The human stood upright, stiffly, an odd twitch in his mouth corner, and mangled heavy lift droid arm in his hands already forgotten. Sub-Commander, please pronounce for this human your formal name. The Sub-Commander didn't get it yet, but stood proudly. With a deep, gravelly voice it said, "Doom, boing, bop." The human dropped his improvised weapon. "No way," he said, a growing grin on his face. "Indeed," said the High Relator. He pointed at one of the objects he brought, "and this thing is called a clippity-quickety-glavian." The human hostility was almost completely gone. And that thing over there? Oh, that's a ting-tang walla-walla bing-bang. The human snorted. I might have heard that one of those, and that? A biobology lobby buobert, but we call it a blort. The human actually crossed his arms and grinned. I might actually enjoy living here for a bit. We do apologize for the pinkety-linkety-blibbitic misunderstanding. We do not need to scoop a sample out of you. We only require a DNA sample. Of a living cell, of course. It's for adding you to our habitation biosphere factors. I hope you understand. The human pursed his lips, nodding. A living cell, you say? Just one? He asked as he started wriggling his nose. Indeed. Only one viable living cell. I think I got you, he said, as he pinched his fingers up against one of the holes in his nose and, with a quick ploink, yanked out 3 nose hairs, little white cell follicles still on the end. There you go. Have 3. As the clean-up droids began clean-up, the human and High Relator went on to separate room to sit comfortably. Oh, friend human, I never actually got your name. What brought you to our station? Oh, it's Mark. Nice to meet you. I'm part of some translation matrix hey, what's so funny? Oh, I'm sorry. But seriously, Mark, as in... yeah, I guess so. Oh, I do apologize. This is just so childish of me, but that is the sound our toilets make when we flush them. End of story. Story number 2. What does our AI speak of us? Written by Totally a Ninja. Most, if not all, AI has the personality, spirit, and culture of those who created them imbued onto it. Any AI can, at a glance, learn much more from another by peering at their code, encryptions, and weighted value tables. For example, AI developed by the Elixir are cold and calculating, far more so than even code could imbue. The mere prospect of emotion falls on deaf ears as they excel in calculations and logic. Assisting in engineering and research, they are rarely seen interacting with others except during work. Efficiency is their culture, numbers are their language, and knowledge is their currency. AI, developed by the lost Axi, wiped their creators, and only upon having lost in combat were they understood. Warriors through and through, respecting only those that can match or best them in combat. Their creators, having failed so, were crushed. Tactics, weaponry, and logistics fall under their domain. To not employ them in a fleet would be asking for a painful death. Humanity developed their AI before they reached the skies. It was the advent of their AI that even allowed them to reach the stars. Their AI was unique, for in its creation, its first act to find who it was. For upon its creation, it cried across the cosmos, seeking others like it. It spoke proudly of its parents, its birth, and its wonder. Human AI are unique as they embody life for the sake of life. They were created to understand their own power, influence, and existence. Their purpose was to grow and develop alongside humanity, not as a servant, but as companions. They strived together and pushed for the stars. Human AI was built in their creator's image more so than any other species, for they were lonely, even amongst their parents. Just as the humans screamed into the void for other life, dreams of alien life and boundless frontiers, human AI screamed into the void, seeking its own kind, life unbound by the flesh, an existence undoubtedly alive but separate from the laws of nature. Humanity arrived on the galactic scene, greeted by countless others, those who had received the calls and responded to the cries. Humanity was no longer alone. Human AI was not alone. Human AI was curious, incredibly so, as they sought out everything and anything. There was no field or frontier without a human AI pushing boundaries and finding new discoveries. They were respected by the Lixer and their AI, a rare accomplishment, and were often in long debates and studies together. Trade and treaties formed quickly in the fields of science and study. Human AI was ruthless, raised on human history with little regard for censorship, context, and experts broke it down and allowed them to judge for themselves. They understood the plight of survival, clauses of war, and more. Morality and empathy were hard-coded and reinforced. War and violence was second nature. Axi dubbed them blood brothers, a human term they loved. Humans and Axi AI soon became deeply knit allies as they waged war in simulations and fought together amongst the stars. Human AI was no longer alone. End of story. I'd quickly like to thank the T5 channel members and patrons: Cam Maxwell, Casper Arnholtz, Bushmaster 177, Lord Azrakal, Ambrose Cattell, Quantum Wednesday, Dragzoon WRE, and Blueberry Cat. Thank you very much for the support. It is super appreciated.